Hello and welcome to the Tuesday, May 12th, 2026 edition of the SANS Internet Storm Center's Stormcast. My name is Johannes Ulrich, recording today from San Diego, California. And this episode is brought to you by the SANS.edu Credit Certificate Program in Penetration Testing and Ethical Hacking. Today we got, one of Apple's typical patch days. And now Apple does not have a regular patch schedule. This particular update was kind of expected for this week. Not sure if anybody really predicted Monday as being the patch day for Apple. It again affects pretty much all of their operating system and fixes about 80 different flaws. The flaws are not really all that remarkable. It's your usual mix kind of for Apple. Also, based on sort of what we sort of historically get from Apple, the number of patches is just about average. So there is no sign of like any inflation as we have seen in some cases with AI-generated patch or vulnerability reports. For iOS, iPadOS, you'll get updates for the 26 as well as for the 18 version, so the current and the next to current version. For macOS, it goes back 2 versions, so all the way to macOS Sonoma 14. tvOS, watchOS, and visionOS only get updates for the current version of the operating system. In addition to the security updates, there's of course always a number of features that are being updated with these sort of in-between operating system releases from Apple. There is one particular feature that is kind of interest from a security point of view, and that's end-to-end encrypted RCS messaging. RCS is the standard that's supposed to eventually replace SMS. And initial versions released by Apple and Google were more focusing on some of the usability issues, like, for example, markup and the like. But of course, one of the big problems with SMS from a security point of view is that there's no authentication and no encryption. Well, Apple is now fixing that with this update in iOS. Now, RCS messages can be end-to-end encrypted if you're either using 2 iPhones on the latest version of iOS, or if you're using iOS on one side, and then an Android phone on the other side with the latest version of Google Messenger, which also supports this encrypted RCS standard. There should be a small lock icon and the word encrypted that you'll see sort of in your messaging window. From my point of view, this is a real nice feature to have, but usability, of course, is always kind of an issue here. How well it's communicated to the user, whether or not a particular connection is encrypted or not encrypted. And there's certainly a chance that things will sort of flip forth and back, in particular, since not all carriers are supporting this feature. Both ends of the connection also must use a carrier that actually supports end-to-end encrypted RCS messages. And a few months ago, I did implement CAPTCHAs on a couple of sort of data-intense pages on our website, in part because bots really sort of caused some performance issues on the site. So I figured it's a good time now to go back to see how well the CAPTCHAs worked. And, well, no surprise, they do appear to block most, if not all, bots. And yes, as a result, out of 300 requests to some of these data-intense pages, like our IP info page, well, only 1 request actually passes the bot filter. There are a couple of IP addresses I list in a diary that sort of stick out for the number of requests we are receiving for them, given that even after several months now, and these particular bots don't really get any results from the page, it's, kind of tells you that they're not really looking that closely, that if their bots are actually still working, which kind of also means that these bots are super cheap for them to run. And just as a side note here, we do, of course, offer our data for free for download. We just ask that you use the API. So another thing, it's easier for you if you use the API and don't screen scrape off our IP info pages and the like. But, it's also easier for us to actually give you the data via the API. So please use it. And Checkmarx is continuing its battle with TeamPCP. This weekend, TeamPCP apparently published a modified version of the Checkmarx Jenkins AST plugin to the Jenkins marketplace. And, this download was available from Saturday to Sunday. So if you downloaded it, definitely pay attention. And if you're using the Jenkins AST plugin, then please take a quick look at the Checkmarx advisory, because it has additional ways to identify any potential malicious download, like checksums and the like, in case you aren't sure when your particular version was downloaded. Well, and that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. And as always, special thanks for any feedback and good reviews on your favorite podcast platform. Thanks, and talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.